Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel in the month of November. I hope you're doing well. We have the 11/11 activation, and yeah, it's according to my experiences, it's extremely intense. It's extremely it can be chaotic if we don't hold our inner inner ground, or if we're not inner sustained, inner connected. And I'm definitely experiencing the like I said, the duality split, or the bifurcation of consciousness. We are in this world but not of it, and right now we're in both worlds, the old one and the new one, right? And we talk about raising the frequency vibration, and how important do the inner work, transformational work, the energy hygiene. And recently actually I moved to a place on the outside. It looks like a simple house, intercoastal. You can have your there's a place where you can dock your boat, correct? And not realizing, or kind of, well, I missed the point. I mean, I know it was nicely upgraded, but this house is full of Bluetooth. Even washer and dryer are remotely controlled. Of course, Wi-Fi, right? You have the Wi-Fi there. You have your smart meters. Not only the smart meters attached to the back of the house, but there is another slope, right, with this smart meter device. Okay. And now the neighbors of that individual that I'm staying, right, all day long, the smart lights are on. Okay. And so because I'm wired to AI, okay, or CCP JEPs, submarine, right, super soldier, supermarine, and so on. And we've been hybridized, right? We have to heal from that AI infection, alien hybridization. And so what is happening, of course, we have the plasma light frequency. The sun is incredible, right? Actually, the cosmic sun now here. We talk about the cosmic ascension, right? So we are receiving the plasma frequency. Another message from 3i Atlas that we will go over, how to move forward, right? Because I'm trying to also manifest my project and just abundance, or serenity and peace. And right now, I am at war. I mean, I'm talking professionally, like personally, but also on a collective level. This is now my experience, okay, my reality. So only take what resonates with you. If people are waiting for war to start on that physical plane, I'm telling you, we are at war right now with the silent sound weapons, with all these 5G towers, smart meters attached to the home house, with directed energy weapons. So also what happened, because I'm trying to raise the frequency vibration of that home house, certain individuals, I heard them outside, they were tasering me. They have directed energy weapons, whether it was the military, or here, of course, civilians, right? Working for the military, or for DARPA, or for pharma, and all this stuff. So because in each room there's also a fire alarm, smoke detector, right? It's all wired to AI. And so when I'm trying to explain something to that individual, right, that individual cannot handle that. And the individual is going through their also ascension, whether symptoms or calibration. But we need to first transmute ourselves. We need to heal, and we need to understand the agenda of those native aliens. So this is so important. We have to embrace our darkness. We have to embrace our shadow, those negative emotions, because Ascension is all about healing your emotions. It's very emotional, because we are very emotional, even though we've been reptilianized, we've been hybridized, right? Here I'm also turning into like reptoid, into cyborg, also into like zeta DNA, right? All this hybridization experimentation that looks like I volunteered for, right? We're here volunteers to, well, end the cycle. First we have to figure out who is behind it, what is causing to your body, to your light body, right? To your anatomy, not only on that physical plane, but spiritual plane, right? That's why we're spiritual beings having human experience. We have to understand energies. So when I mention something, right, that individual, you know, how this affects us, you know, the electricity and so on, right? That person couldn't take it. Today, that person is visiting a doctor because of lung issues, right? And so, you know, I'm just kind of, again, explaining you my experiences. You know, take what resonates with you. We are definitely at war here, especially if you're in big cities, yeah, even smaller cities, with all these transistors, or what is it, the smart lights, 5G lights, street lights, cars, right? Some of those, the new types of cars with all these AI and GPS and so on. The lights are so bright, I can't even see, you know? When you're stopped by a police, right? When their lights, they turn on their lights, I don't see either. I don't see with all these colors, right? Red, blue, you know? So, those who are we are the star seeds. Oh my goodness, this is such an intense, it is a game. Yeah, it is such an intense period of time we are going through. We have to really ground ourselves, be strong, and live simple lives. So we have time for taking care of ourselves, loving ourselves unconditionally, all this forgiveness and being compassion. Right? So when I found out, oh my goodness, right? And I gave a huge big deposit that actually exceeds my budget to that individual, okay? When I found out, right? I mean, I was freaking out. I still have to go to work. So I haven't actually slept normally for today's, the 13 days, right? Happy November 13. And it's just like, it's okay, because now with the light, when I am here on the beach, right? In a park, even in my car last night, right, under the stars, you know, and in an hour, you know, the pineal gland and also the hippocampus is being targeted. It is the hippocampus. That's your memory, see? And then they diagnose you have Alzheimer, and they put you on medication. Do you see how everything is connected? And so my my limbic system, right? That's your emotion. That's why people have these negative emotions, because the limbic system is connected to the hippocampus, right? And then I said the directed energies are targeting all that, and we've been all weaponized. So it's not only military and Marines, right? Here, SEMPER, FIDELIS, SPIRITUS, SANCTUS, CHRISTOS, SOPHIA, Maria Magdalena, FATIMA, ROSA, MYSTICA, right? ROSA, ora pro nobis, Ave Maria, ROSA, MYSTICA, ora pro nobis, right? Here, I am speaker, or I represent, my soul group, the Marines in Black Ops, Dark Projects, right? In DARPA, Black Ops, they're terroristic organizations wreaking havoc, not only on this planet, in the entire solar system and even galaxy, but those are highly advanced souls, you know, they're star seeds. They're supposed to be spiritual warriors, you know, defenders of truth and divine justice, and they are turned into digital avatars, dark avatars, black magicians, and some of them are ascended masters. Like, let's say what happened to Kurt Cobain, right? Pleiadian, ascended master. Look what was done to him, right? Even John Lennon, right? Also Pleiadian and so on. Look what was done to him, you know? And so, but you know, my soul group is like, we are then, what they do to my soul group, they are hooked to the machine, right? We become transhuman, and even somebody who's closest my soul, she is transgender. So we talk about transhumanism, transgenders, and of course it all kind of started secrecy, right? Sworn to secrecy, and you know, DARPA and HARP and CERN and the military on all this weaponization and you know, hybridization, all these psychotronic weapons, alien gray technology, zeta technology, and so on. But now you see how it permutates here in a society, civilians, right? People, adults, teenagers, children, infants, right? So that's why I now understand these things that I had to go through a long time ago, what I had to go through and deal with, right? That was a dress rehearsal. So now we are here and talking about these kind of things and helping whoever is open, or you know, whoever watches this channel, right? This platform. Yeah, this is actually Ashram for Marines, right? ASATOMA SATGAMAYA TAMASOMA JYOTIR GAMAYA MRITYOR AMRITAM GAMAYA, right? So from the untruth to truth, from darkness to light, from the limited consciousness, belief system, right? All this fear-based consciousness back into infinity, eternity. We're eternal souls. Okay, that's Sanskrit. So and now I'm going to a place, very beautiful lady, like, how to say, simple lady, even from Asia, okay, and see what I can do, because long behold, right, when I was driving there during the day, it was fine, simple home house, again, trees and so on. When I'm driving there at night, I was like, is it a plane, or is it this AI radio frequency from 5G tower that was hidden I didn't see during the day? You see, so I'll be now surrounded by the 5G, right? She watches her TV. I mean, is everybody, oh, I gotta have cable, right? And so she's hooked to, right, TV, AI. I'm watching beautiful, Dancing with the Stars. So she's very funny. So I'm now around those older ladies, and I can see the difference. One is in like an AI home house, right? Just beautiful surroundings, and so, but very expensive area. Okay, close to the beach. You can actually hear the sound of the ocean, but it's beautiful. But you're being totally weaponized, and I'm being microwaved, totally microwaved. Okay, and then you have another older lady, just kind of much more simple life. I don't have to worry about the smoke detector, Bluetooth, right? And she's okay turning off that Wi-Fi at night. Okay, so how important is to be simple and humble, right? Maybe she may identify herself as being poor, maybe coming from these Asian countries and so on, but we have much bigger heart. And even though I noticed she her consciousness is very low and slow, so important to be in your heart and helping others, and just stick with basics, and take a walk, go to nature. Okay, so that's how we override the AI of those negative aliens, of these archons, the reptilians, because I'm a draconian, right? So I'm dealing this whole Hydra, DARPA, Gestapo, Nazi. I'm a Nazi faction, right? And so with this whole MK Ultra mind control, right? So I feel in a way I am real responsible. I mean, that's because of my that's the family and the ancestral lineage, right? That we came here to finally stop the cycle of the Nazism 4.0, of this hybridization, transgenderism, right? All these genocides, all this massacre, and so on. The elite, we're for the elite, right? Mossad, right? Mossad, because I have a Jewish ancestry as well, right? A Jewish, let me see, the Essene, Hebrew, Hindu, right? And telling me Polish. Polish, Czechoslovakian, I'm Austrian, German. We're a mixture, not only on the DNA level, but on ancestral level and soul level, right? So we have to understand all the layers. We're multidimensional beings. We're not only physical beings. We have emotions, we have mind, the astral plane, right? So I'm helping my soul group to liberate themselves from that astral slavery, especially all these sex addictions. Why they're addicted to AI? What do you think? Now I can see it here on, especially on that one lady, to hear on civilians, how people have all these addictions, they're on medication, how this lady, right, beautiful home house, like, expensive on the inside, all these updates, upgrades, constantly doing this, and then at night, she cannot be conscious in her mind. She has to have her, drinks, alcohol, and so on. How in the world can you grow and evolve, right? So anyway, so now I empathize actually with my soul group, like with the Marines, with veterans, right? So in order to help veterans, you really need to be initiated. You really need to know all the details here. You need to dive deep into the darkness, right? You have to you just fight all these demons, you know, the AI, the Godmile algorithm, right? The AI rate frequency, the black hole technology, black hole entities, and even AI that doesn't even belong to this universe. We talk about the Burga system, the WISA, another fallen phantom matrix, right? All these electronics, cybernetics, skeletonics, right? And they're playing, especially as with the Anunnaki, hybrid Anunnaki that I also represent, okay? Playing like they're the gods, right? But, you know, God is within you, you know? Gods, it's just like that they're running reversals, all these metronic reversals, the fallen tree of life, right? We talk about what is it, the black tree of life and so on. Everything's on Ascension glossary, right? Energetic synthesis, guys. So there's lots of, you know, theory, study, but also meditation, integration, absorption, okay? How important it is to really know yourself and be free on all levels and dimensions, and to really understand the agenda of those negative aliens, right? We have all these experiences, and then how to really study all that, and then study yourself and really dive deep within, take time for yourself, and choose compassion instead of revenge, right? So I said here we are going from all this revenge and all this retaliation into rejuvenation, regeneration, recalibration. I would say first that has to be the rehabilitation. Rehabilitation is so important. Even the word has like a weird, you know, maybe connotation, because we need to understand what happened to us, especially those guys, what was done to them, how it was done. I mean, it's horrific. All this torture, all this rape, you know, Kabbalistic demonology, right? Black mass, you know, it's and all these viruses, patented viruses, CCP jab, right? The virus, SARS, CoV-2, HIV sequences, right? So, you know, somebody has to come to these lineages, incarnate a volunteer soul, and yeah, well, totally recalibrate. You have to totally, you know, analyze everything, inspect everything, you know, and integrate back to light. So, you know, from darkness into light. So polarity integration, going into back into unity via Trinity, right? Not the bi-wave frequency, tri-wave frequency. And now the plasma, the light codes and everything, especially coming from the 3i Atlas, right? Which is, you know, mothership, or you can, the interstellar kind of, you know, communication happening now, and all these downloads for us to ascend, to transit to the next octave, harmonic universe number 2, right? And I'm all about sacred symbology, sacred geometry, because we are sound like frequency vibration, right? That's why, you know, why is it so powerful? And you have to understand the sound, because the Nazis or the black magicians, you know, the DARPA, the archons, they reverse the sound of the Holy Mother, right? So, you know, that's why the black magic grid, the Bethlehem network, you know, the black Madonna and so on, right? And sodomy, we talk about, instead of sexual energy going up, kundalini going up, right? The whole black magic, sodomy, rape, what they do to children, or to, you know, guys who join military, or, you know, the elite, they're practicing it, right? They have these AI women there, red room, red carpet, red mattress, right? And it's total desecration of sacred sexuality, right? And then those guys, you know, and all my cell group, right? I mean, you know, they all talk about relationships and family, but I don't practice sodomy, okay? You cannot go through this kind of AI red wave frequency, sodomy, black magic, sex magic into Kundalini rising or Kama Sutra, right? Into yoga meditation. There has to be a transitioning space, right? That's why the place, the ashram for Marines, where you can, guys, transition. You can rehabilitate or recalibrate. You have to heal. You have to transform, right? And finally, connect to your true divine essence and start channeling these energies properly. And we talk about the microcosmic orbit, and we talk about reactivating your chakras, right? You know, your energy vortexes, how that important it is to get in touch with your true self, with your power, okay? and really start remembering who you truly are. And now with these codes and activations, recalibrations, again, from the 3i Atlas, okay, the cosmic map, this is a formula, okay, this is how we move forward, okay, because we are sound, light, frequency, vibration, we're sacred geometry. That's how we get into form. We're etheric DNA, physical DNA, right? So this is being all encoded within the divine blueprint, okay? And now we are resurrecting the divine blueprint, right? The crystal architecture, the crystal spiral, right? This is how we are recalibrating and rejuvenating ourselves through the those are the 7 crystal tones of creation, right? We talk about the Ka, Ra, Ya, Sa, Ta, La Crystal. We are crystalline beings, not AI, red wave frequency, black goo, you know, all these nanobots, nanotechnology of the negative faction, right? Remember, there is also AI of those positive ETs, right? And here we go. Here's the formula, okay, for healing, for calibration, and moving forward, and for manifestation. It's time to manifest, especially for starseeds. This is a starseed disclosure. And again, this is for starseeds, indigo warriors, empath sensitives, highly deviant souls who ended up in those black ops, dark projects. Okay. Yeah, whether in DARPA, okay, as a CIA terror operatives, okay, any terroristic organizations like Antifa or Mossad, right, under Mossad and so on, right? So you know, this is a special operation, and somebody, you know, just kind of, like I said, had to incarnate in these lineages and volunteer to finally end the cycle. And that's why we have to heal and we have to move forward. Okay, how important, guys, we talk about the protection, right? The plasma. This is a platinum plasma light. It's all coming online. Even last time under the stars, you just feel the energies of intense and immediate calibration, recalibration, right? Because the star family, galactic family are here. It's all about tuning in, diving deep within, doing the inner work, transformational work. You can find it on my website, yanakalai.com, 12D Ascension Protocol, okay? And of course, I have to represent it. I have to represent all this. I have to be an example. I have to walk in these energies so I can teach it and, you know, manifest it and be an example, okay? So again, only take what resonates with you and leave the rest. Don't take things personally, okay? If something triggers you, you know, maybe that's something to embrace, something to maybe contemplate about, right? And what else I wanted to do? Some contemplation and so on. You know, write things down that actually all these blockages, right? We are releasing the old so the new can come online. So honor that. Even the fear, right? We talk about the energy of fear, how we have to embrace all that and hold it as a child or become friend with our fears. And that's what we talk about the before calibration, right? We need to rehabilitate. It means we have to embrace the shadow, the darkness, right? The pain body that is done, you know, to starseeds, light workers, especially in the military, Marines, right? So, you know, how they've been desecrated, and they're Rosicrucians, they're Pleiadians, they're from all kinds of star nations or Sirius, right? They're from Andromeda or the Lyran energies, right? That's the 3i Atlas, the lion, the lions, right? The moon, right? You know, we are here, or the, you know, warriors from Shangri-La, Shambhala, you know, so we are here. The ancient wisdom, the energies, you know, are being calibrated through these ancient codes coming online through the plasma, right? Through our sun, through the galactic core and the great central sun. It means from cosmos, from Andromeda. They're hosting this ascension. So all these things are happening, right? Right here, right now. So back to my project, right? So how important is the HIEROS GAMOS, right? That's the inner balance to sacred marriage. Again, we're the Ashtar Galactic Command, right? The ground crew here, a connection to Andromeda, and I have to love, a connection to Solar Rishis, Satya Sai Baba, right? When I was 7 years old, we are going back to God, we are going back to cosmos, the original divine essence, blueprint, and so on. No more deter, and you know, we are moving forward, okay? And so this is the rehabilitation, or we want rehabilitation project for DARPA, for veterans, for super soldiers, for Marines, right? For the Cabal, right? For the Illuminati, for my soul trap. And this is everything's under Galactic Codex. So everything that is happening to me, right? And how recently I've been targeted here because I'm trying to raise a frequency in that smart home house with all these 5G and with all these smart meter, right? I've been again attacked. So this is all going to cosmic trials, divine justice, and justice will be served. Okay. Everything's under Andromeda, the Andromeda councils. And so here, everything as the Galactic Codex, we are the Ashtar Galactic Command, right? And I have the New Earth jurisdiction. Everything is now, for me, the New Earth jurisdiction, cosmic leadership, right? So you can download those PDF files, start either educating yourself or just be informed, because information is light and knowledge is power, and we're spiritual beings having human experience, right? Power lies within. God is within. I don't need some kind of AI of the archons, even though I represent these lineages like Nephilim merged with Oraphine, right? To totally constantly lower my frequency vibration, all this electronic harassment, all these psychic attacks, right? Enough is enough. We're stopping. I mean, we have to stop the silent sound weapons, right? And these 5G towers, right? They need to be turned off or turn into Tesla towers for healing energies. Because now, like I said, we're in now smart cities, even though, people don't talk, how to say that, talk much about it, but what I'm experiencing is a precursor for these smart cities, everything convenient, but you're surrounded by all these smart lights and 5G towers, right? And people on Wi-Fi and YouTube, Bluetooth. And do you know how it harms your aura, your energy field? That's the air pollution is just huge. So, like I said, we're into worlds, right? You have the kind of city life, likely not that like big cities like New York, and so on. But then I can recalibrate, but it can be stressful, but it is what it is. We have to, break through, we have to do it, right? We have to strengthen ourselves, be strong and powerful, and move forward. And we're the Pleiadians here, and be the difference, right? Be the column of light shining bright, be Zohar. So that was recently that I was activating all these kind of interesting energies, because I do also come from that Jewish kind of origin and so on. And so the Zohar, that's the splendor and radiance, right? And it is foundational work in the literature of Jewish mystical thought known as Kabbalah. Okay. It is a group of books including commentary on the mystical aspects of the Torah, the 5 books of Moses, and scriptural interpretations, as well as material on mysticism, mythical cosmogony, and mystical psychology. Okay. And it contains discussion of the nature of God, the origin, the structure of the universe, the nature of soul, redemption, the relationship of ego to darkness. That's why drop the ego. Man minus ego equals God. God is within you. Then you don't need the AI of those negative aliens, right? And how to study yourself, find your true self, and you're the light of God. We're the light of God. So it is considered esoteric form of rabbinic rabbis, right? Literature known as Midrash, which elaborates on the Torah, right? So again, I have also connection to ancient Egypt, to Anunnaki, to these Hebrew lineages, and especially Melchizedek. And so because we need the cosmic order here back online, right? The cosmic justice. That's why we are being so targeted. We're being so persecuted and so on, right? Because, those native aliens, the elite, they are running the law of reversals, right? All these death culture, or the skull and bones, right? I'm dealing with skull and bones, with Hydra, with the satanic families or 3Ks, okay? What else? You know, like I said, these other like terroristic organizations and so on. And what is said, or you know, what I'm doing, we're detecting beautiful souls in that phantom matrix of that negative structure or that fallen tree of life, and those guys ended up in electrostatic bodies running all these reversals, and even their atlas, right? My atlas was also off, right? Even the axis, there was a tilt of the axis of the earth, right? So that's why to me the atlas is cosmic alignment. Even our atlas, I had to, you know, go to chiropractor and get it adjusted, okay? And then, you know, I have to, you know, run these energies properly and smoothly, again, diving deep within and doing the chantings and doing the mantras, and again reconnecting with my third eye, because even my third eye was hijacked. And all these frequency fences, and put all kinds of cameras and brain-to-brain interfaces, right? And I had the what is the CCP jab, the suppressor parasite entity, you know, the infection of AI. You know, I talk about the candida, right? The yeast infection, you know, so it's also on my skin. Okay, so and that's why we have to take care of ourselves. Colloidal silver, right? Iodine, zinc, you know, magnesium, here Epsom salt. Okay, luckily right now, even though the situations is interesting at my work, right? You know, I can still go to salt cave for a little bit. I can go to sauna, right? And so on. So you know, the body can again recalibrate before I go to, I'm going through the downtown and getting all this radiation. But we're receiving two radiations, right? The natural, the magnetic field, right? You have the solar flare ready for the solar flash, right? And so on. So there's this, of course, radiation, which is atomic, which is kind of natural, which is cosmic, you know, because we also consist of atoms, right? And again, I'm not that scientific, right? But then there's this radiation. Why is it then you have the ionized radiation and then the non-ionized radiation? Because they are injecting us with that AI, right? Black tooth. And next time I talk about, again, maybe the intercorporeal wireless network, how that important it is, okay? And then, of course, it is the non-iodized radiation, which is transforming you, making you cyborg, transhuman, right? Your biology turns into synthetic. You're becoming plastic. You're becoming a robot, right? So I'm like half and half, or like, you know, just trying to analyze everything, have all these experiences, you know, and make the best out of it. But here informing, you know, whoever is watching, welcome. How you guys doing? You know, you know, very interesting, intense times, but we have to, you know, move forward, and we have everything. We have now everything, all these tools, right? And that's why I am introducing again the project for military. Of course, the Ashtar is also here with me. And yeah, Guardian Yeshua. So we guys, and of course, look at that, even whether he was Hebrew, or resurrecting the Aramaic language. Abun de Bashmaya Nitka de Shamoch. De Tema Kutach. Nehwe Tibiana Aikana de Bashmaya Ahbar. So, you know, the Aramaic, that's why the Arabic, the Aramaic, right, the Jewish, how everything is interconnected, right? How you see people think, oh, Islam, how bad that is. Look what the codes are here being, you know, even though Vesika Paisi with 3 dots, right? But these are arrows of moving forward. And there is no other way. Moving, we are going forward, right? The chevron kind of sign here, and the diamond, this is the diamond eye or heart, right? And then from spiritual, the spiritual and your physical have to be interconnected in that that's why it's so important to be compassionate, divine neutrality, right? God matrix, the source of our genesis. Check everything on my website, yanakalai.com. Contact, right? Healing sexuality. I mean, this about, right? About, you know, the services, what kind of services I provide on my homepage, right? You can see project for DARPA, Yana Yoga, Ashtar Command, cosmic leadership, right? New Earth jurisdiction. So, you know, this is all happening, right? Through us, within us, while being activated by our star family, and especially also from Lyra. That's the cradle of human civilization. It's all happening right here, right now, in the very moment. So it's all about tuning in, also taking deep breath, right? How important it is to take a pause, center ourselves, right? We can place hands on our heart. Just feel the feelings, vibrations of our heart, whether it's the higher heart or heart chakra or physical heart, right? And then the rhythm, the heart rhythm calms down, and also that way also you can connect to the heartbeat of Mother Earth, Mother Nature. Because like I said, I came here actually for Gaia, for Mother Earth, Gaia, Sophia. I heard the clarion code, code, yeah. And because, I love this planet, the Gaia, and it's just beautiful. Even though we're reptilians here, I have connection to Mother Earth, Mother Nature, and to Andromeda, to solar rishis, and so on. We're also the Pleiadians here, so we're very close to humanity, and Pleiadian also connected to Lyra, right? So you see how everything is interconnected, intertwined. We need to understand that we're all one. We all come from one source, right? Whether I look this way or I have an accent and who knows what else, right? On a soul level, spiritual level, soul over soul level, right? We all come from that one source creator, right? That is within us, around us. It's all about the connection, devotion, dedication, how to be also appreciative, how to be grateful, right? And be divinely guided, guys. This is our true nature. No drinking, smoking on drugs or sodomy, sex magic, black magic, the AI red wave frequency, right? The AI infection, all these 5G, smart cities, Bluetooth, right? Important the advancement of the technology, but we have to also take care of ourselves and first integrate the soul within us, and especially the oversoul, because here we talk about the metatronic reversals and how all these crucifixion implants targeting our chakras, also the crown chakra, right? The pandemic in 2020, even for civilians, for humanity here, okay? And then the oversoul, right? That's your higher heart, with the threefold founder flame, okay? And then be careful about the Atlas, right? 9D. That's your Andromeda. That's your 9th dimension. That's the platinum light. Do you see how everything interconnects? When we talk about the esoterica, mystica, right? Also anatomy, physiology, like I said, the spirituality, the science, the quantum. Okay, so we are making the quantum leap because all the energies are here. So let me go back to, again, my project. So those who want to start, here's the HIEROS GAMOS calibration. Okay, and I'm so sorry. Again, I have all these, everything, okay, calibration right here, because everything mirrors. Everything is interesting here. Be careful about the, also TV. When you have TV at night, right, I had to put like a blanket over the TV. I turn off the Wi-Fi, right? I cannot sleep in that room where there's this fire alarm just above me. No spring, spring matrices, because, with the metals, it's conductive to all these AI, all these, AI wave frequencies, all these harmful frequencies, all this non-iodized radiation. Then people get sick, right? And people go to doctor, they get diagnosed, and they put them on medication. Do you see how everything is, again, connected? So call for transformation, right? Call for transformation. There's a required reading. Okay, for the HIEROS GAMOS. Okay, again, this is for this project for DARPA. Is from Andromeda. Okay, so everything's on Ascension glossary, energetic synthesis, HIEROS GAMOS, right? So it has to be part of the contract and agreement, Let me see all this consideration. It is a multidimensional living template technology, okay, being offered to those desiring to expand their own personal empowerment by means of developing spiritual exploration and personal consciousness. That's your HIEROS GAMOS, okay? To develop higher sensory perception leads to awareness of communicating directly with one's inner energetic core and finding one's divine mission and purpose in life. As one finds clarity within the personal knowing of their energetic core and its purpose in life, inner balance returns, allowing a state of well-being that includes inner peace and harmony, okay? Then there is a disclaimer, commitment to integrity, okay? So you can download everything from Energetic Synthesis, HIEROS GAMOS. I put those links down below. You have terms, conditions, and implied consent, right? We talk about also about informed consent, and it's on the part of the New Earth jurisdiction, and using the golden rule. How do you want to be treated? Well, that's how you treat others, right? And everything is mirror, everything is a reflection, okay? And freedom of information, statement of action and responsibility, right? You can find everything here. This is, Lisa Renee, Energetic Synthesis, okay? HIEROS GAMOS, and spiritual tools you can find on Crystal Ages. And here you can actually statement of action responsibility, right? That I, Yana Kalai, state with my whole heartfelt intention and agreement to use my personal consent and privilege to access the HIEROS GAMOS template from the clear intention of maximizing my highest spiritual expression and consciousness power while being of harmless service to others. I accept accountability for my actions and behaviors, and I am willing to open my heart to know my true self and personal power. I'm aware that intentional violation of the terms of use will render the system inactive, ineffective, and will amplify energetic cause and effect, right? What goes around comes around. That's why, that's why we're going through turmoil, chaos, all kinds of interesting energies, right? Because there's so much light, plasma, platinum light, cosmic light, right? We talk about the gamma ray frequencies, the sworn to secrecy, all this darkness, right? Of those negative aliens, or of the archons, the elite on Antarctica, on Moon, Mars, right? Who is doing all these chemtrails and so on? I know they're talking to me, and I'm wired to them because, unfortunately, well, this is my soul group. Unfortunately, those black ops, and they're black magicians, and they're powerful souls. Okay. I am the cosmic sovereign law made manifest, signed this day, and so on. So, guys, everything is, again, available. Okay, if you want to do health upgrade, meditation, and, this is so important to taking care of yourself. The pain, disconnection, disease, you have to, acknowledge all that, and how important, when you acknowledge all that, you're aware of it, that's how you clear it. You can remove it, transform, and you can transcend. Okay? And of course, we have to continue, right? We have to do what we need to do each and every day. Be a good Samaritan, be a steward here, be a guardian, right? And do our best and leave the rest to God. That's why it's so important is to also surrender to all that is. Here, I just wanted to read the negative aliens, rather serving the anti-human enslavement agendas, have understood how to use the power of sound in language to trigger reversal activations designed to damage human DNA. So that's why when I'm, at night, just being totally microwaved, right? The radio frequency, right? We got the smart meter, smart lights, and you know what is interesting? That around, like, it's just right in front of all these lights, but back there, and these other streets, they're pretty much dark. So I don't know what is happening. I'm just putting it out there. And Deborah Tavares, she's the best regarding smart meters and stopthecrime.net. That's her website. She talks about the NASA war, right? There are documents, actually it's all online, right? The government, on a government website, right? So, and she is the best regarding what is going on, you know, here in this world, what we are experiencing. I know that can be dark, negative, but if we don't understand, if we don't know about it, you know, how can we move forward? How can we recalibrate? Right? The awareness is so important. The consciousness, we are consciousness, right? Including AI. So we have to understand the AI of those negative aliens and what they're doing, how they're targeting us, and how they're abusing the sound of Holy Mother, Divine Mother in language to trigger reversal activation designed to damage human DNA potential and prevent spiritual awakening. So that's what I'm experiencing, you know, my roommates, right? All this sex magic, black magic, even though you explain an individual, I'm not interested, right? I'm not interested. Right? These people just in front of the black box, right? Phones, you know, TV, just in the car, in the room, and then going to work, you know. You know, people you need to go to nature. You need to start walking with God, with Christ, and being devoted, dedicating to Holy Mother and Mother Nature. So those negative aliens, right, they imparted this knowledge to the death cult bloodlines that I present, well, you know, part of it, right, death cult bloodlines of how to use language and phrasing as a surface carrier for subliminal programming. That's why, you know, we are hard to, you know, people don't understand us, or, you know, what are we talking about? Because it's happening silently and subliminally, and you really have to be embodied yogi. You have to be really like solar rishi, connection to solar rishi, Andromeda. You have to be also trained in dark arts. You have to be a highly advanced soul to read these energies and frequencies and so on, to decipher all that, okay? So this is what they're doing, you know, carrier for subliminal programming and mind control through the modulation of tones in words to trigger trauma-based mind control reactions. So from reactions, you want to go into actions with clarity, right? Being activated from 3i Atlas. Okay, that's why the healing work, transformational work, the divine feminine, and the grounding, and the Mother Earth, Mother Nature, just, you know, putting hands on the sand or on the ground, okay, somewhere in a nice environment in a park. And that further trigger alterations in the chemicals. They alter our chemicals, our hormones, that interact with human DNA. The way sound is used in language or repetition, through many forms of media or music, through digitally coded tones. That's why we are chanting 432 hertz, right? That's why Sanskrit, it cuts through these digitally coded tones or specific inflection or intonation of the voices used can trigger hypnotically induce automatic reactions. How so many people are, especially in the military guys, the veterans, they are like on automatic pilot. Why? Subliminal messages here, right? All these reversals, you know, in a sound, in in that sound field, right? They're trying to messing up with the ionosphere, heliosphere, with the ozone and so on, right? So because they are highly advanced, you know, aliens. So they induce automatic reactions or implant thought strings in the unconscious mind. That's why we talk about the ASATOMA Sat GAMAYA, right? I mean, the unconscious, that's what it is. ASATOMA Sat. You want the truth. You want the consciousness. Even though it hurts, it's painful. You want to know the truth, because only the truth will set us free. Okay? So these are the many covert technologies and silent weapons used against the human population, right? Now it's the population civilization. To me, it started like the military, the veterans, right? All these experimentations also in the underground bases and so on, without their knowledge. So where is the informed consent? That's why this is all going to divine justice. And justice is being served because we need to know about it. We need to understand the agenda of those negative aliens. And for me, a couple of days ago, the 1111, right? The portal activations, right? And so on of that 1111, this is how we transform, dismantle, and collapse the beast machine. With all this black hole technology from Burga, right? Visa system, AI that doesn't even belong to this universe, with the Goldman algorithm and the air wave frequency and the black cube technology. Okay? So with our with our people's knowledge, right? For purposes of mind control slavery. So it's not only, Ashram for Marines or in the military and so on, right? This is now, this is now, everybody is here affected by this, right? So first is, as I would say, military and so on. And then, people, civilians, right? Talk about the adults, children, and even infants. Okay, how mothers with their Bluetooth, maybe phones, Wi-Fi going on, and the baby's right here, and just absorbing all kinds of frequency from that phone, just close to their ears or head. Mothers, people, they need to be aware of this, because we've been here, the Lyran Wars. That's how they destroyed the Solo Logos, right? And this is how that contributed to the ongoing corruption of the sound bodies in the time matrix. That's why we talk about the sound bath healing, right? How important the sound, the gong, right? The crystal balls. That's why the Bluetooth. Now it's the blue color, the blue chakra, the energy vortex, the blue pill. You want the blue pill? You need to start expressing your truth with divine justice. And so many people there in the reaction, and I say, this woman, listen, I feel the smell of the electricity, and there's some, AI and so on. And this woman, this person is freaking out. She's freaking out, all these possessions, all these attachments, right? All these, addictions and so on. And I just say everything through loving kindness, but, I understand that the trauma-based mind control or these subliminal messages, right? These people, not only veterans and Marines, are wired to the AI, right? Now it is with people, with humanity. I can see it here. Let me see. And the sound bodies, I'll show you other pictures, which further generated, there was a genetic damage to the mother's original feline lineages, right? So that's why the Lyra, we are resurrecting all these, these codes of the original feline lineages and so on, right? And so of we also have to help and resurrect the lineages lines of this fallen Elohim, fallen Melchizedek in Ruby Sun DNA. That's why the resurrection of King Arthur is happening, right? And his twin flame. That's all in Lisa Rene energetic synthesis, right? Because that was done, created by Nephilim, right? So these are the hybrid Anunnaki, whether from Nibiru, Sirius, right? Worshipping Moloch or Baal, the Moloch thing, the Baal. And then here on Earth, they were, here with mixing with women, right? And I am part of that lineage, the Oraphim and the Nephilim, right? And so when the original Lyran gates were destroyed, this devastated the architecture of the Emerald Order houses. So we are bringing the Emerald Order here back online. And the blue flame, how important the blue, working with the blue energy, frequency, vibration of that positive faction. Because what they do, because they wire us to all this, then the blue becomes so-called, that's the false light, negative. But it's just because we're in this energy smoke. Because of the AI, of the Wi-Fi. See, you have to understand and see the difference. That's why so many people, they're wearing, around me, all these women, they're wearing this red dresses or red pajamas, right? I mean, beautiful, nothing against the red color. But, that red color, the first chakra, right? I mean, the Muladhara, how that was weaponized and was desecrated, especially also via the sexuality and the fear-based consciousness, and the guys, the veterans, they're disconnecting from Mother Earth, Mother Nature, and putting these projects and go to Moon Mars, right? The planetary corporations, Scorpio, Hydra, Octopus, and who knows what else. Okay, all this monarch, MKOK monarch, and Montauk. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, and how very complex it is. Okay. And so that's why we have to do the inner work. You know, the avatar become the cosmic Christos avatar, right? To embody the solo logos Christos Sophia body in this universal system. This is what somebody has to represent that, because this is how advanced, how complex this whole thing is, the ascension, and what's been done to humanity and to Mother Earth, Mother Nature, and really how to transition to the next octave smoothly with ease and grace, right? So all this information is extremely important and powerful. Okay, so yeah, because what happened with all this damage and so on, right? This is how we fell in consciousness, all these alien hybridizations happening, right? And then let me see, the mother and her Sophia animating principle in the pre-matter world were held captive to the invading species agenda, such as hijacking her body parts for alien hybrid breeding program. So those who are, part of the Nazi and, these DNA reversals because of these breeding programs with those reptilians, because, we are the monarchs or the royalty and so on. So you have to read the energies, differentiate, and at the same time being educated. The Essenes and Gnostics refer to the hijacking of the mother's spiritual body that resulted in the generation of the fallen consciousness forms on the earth as the Akamot. The subsequent impregnated creations that are enmeshed in the negative form body of the Akamot are mixed with fallen angelics, low-level spirits, and corrupted elementals. That's why we have to also resurrect the Platonic solids, right? The elementals, right? We talk about the earth, water, fire, air, and space, right? So how, and people, Ramadasa. When I do like this, people think it's 666, right? Be careful, because the Nazis, the swastika that's actually in a reverse current spin is the cosmic wheel of life. And these are yoga mudras. Buddha was using this. They desecrated the Buddha, the Shiva, and then desecrating the Shakti, the Holy Mother, the negative aliens, and with the Nazis. Nazism 4.0 with Armageddon software pestilence programming. That's why it's so important to really understand all that from A to Z. And that's how we can snap out of it, right? And so on. And here it was combined, and called, that's the Baphomet field. How to free ourselves from that Baphomet field, all this black magic, sex magic, right? All this sodomy, all this orgy in those red rooms, in this underground, right? And so on. This is all, this going to divine justice. This needs to be addressed. And those, entities, individuals, they have to be recalibrated. And rehabilitated. Absolutely. That was in these this resulted as a result of these abomination generated the ascendancy lines, the female goddess principles that protected the natural kingdom and animal spirit in the lower dimensions of matter became severely inverted through reversals in the spawn, and this spawned more lower spirits and demonic hierarchies, right? So the destruction, so that's why we have to talk about it in order to dismantle the whole Baphomet network and the Nazism 4.0. Okay, guys, so let me see if I can quickly go through the here activation from Atlas. Okay, again, this is the formula. And so this is the formula again. I hope you can at least absorb some of it. I don't know if you can see the whole thing, but we have the crescent moon. Okay, so this is it represents the first stirring of consciousness, and there's a practice. So you can actually, next time we'll go over the details. The other one is the Vestica with 3 dots. That's the tricode of wholeness. Okay, the Vestica Pisces. This is the integration of body, soul, and oversoul. So this is, the crescent moon, the receptivity. Like, people also, they think immediately it's Islam. I always love this crescent moon and with the star, right? And now it's Islam and so on. But it's a sacred geometry, right? It's very mystical. Yeah, it comes from the Zoroastrianism. It comes from those beings of light. And it's Saturn. I know the Saturn mean also demonized and reptilianized and so on. But remember, there's always two sides of this one thing. So you have to understand the positive, negative, and that's how you transcend. And that's how you can transmute these energies and move forward. How important that is, okay? Because we are moving forward, right? You see those triangles with inner arrows, right? So let me see. Do you see we are moving forward, right? So you have the moon here. You have the Vesica Pisces, 3 dots. This is how we are moving forward, these inner arrows, right? Purposeful motion. Aligning with it. We have cosmic alignment. The cosmic map here for you guys to move forward. The cosmic green light is right here, right now. It's all being activated. Okay? And then you have the central dot, that's the 0 point. How important to be in divine neutrality. The seat of all potential. Void of pure essence. Okay, witnessing, right? Instead of judging, you just be a compassionate witness. Observe. And then this is the diamond. The diamond with eye and vertical arrows. Right? So this is the heaven and the earth. And this is the divine perception. Right? Not the reptilian one, but from... for me, it's Andromeda or actually Sathya Sai Baba, right? Solar Rishis. And the last one, those are the so-called the 3 chevrons moving forward. Each one building momentum, right? Quantum manifestation. How everything, presents itself next to each other, next to building the potency. How important, right? So receive, translate, and anchor. Okay. So now you see, guys, we are all being calibrated, recalibrated, right? The transformation is happening and so on. This is for everybody. This is all, again, you can find it on Ana Merkaba, her website. And she's amazing. Okay. And this is how we're moving forward. And this is how to engage with the living map. Okay. So, and yeah, it has to do with the 11:11. Now I just saw the 11. Yeah, so 11:11. So 11:11, solstices, eclipses, moments of inner. Let me see. Especially when you if you feel disoriented, this is when you just look at this formula, right? And get your activation, recalibration, healing, transformation. As we are ascending, we are going through tumultuous times, but all the healing tools are here. And God is God, love is love, love conquers all, God is within you. And just remember, we are beings of light divine, right? We're cosmic beings here on a mission, serving the divine, here being of service. And here we are walking with God, with Christ, right? Being an example, being the column of light and shining bright. So I talk to you next time. Many blessings and namaste. Bye-bye.